that they may not push the recommendation back until 3 months or 6 months of age, but it's still an available vaccine for those age groups. So it would probably take kind of a consult with a physician or that it may be open. But for what we do, we'll have to follow what the ACIP and CDC recommendations are. But if they were to go to their physician, they could probably do a consultation with their physician and probably receive the vaccines.
For those of who believe in vaccines.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, and I believe we should be getting the email on our employee flu shot, so I think those are coming in the next couple of weeks. So, yes, so those will be coming.
And don't wait till Christine gets the flu and then gives it to the rest of us.
We will.
Brian Tennyson, Hamilton County Emergency Management.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I've just got one agenda item for you today, but here to present a meal authorization request for canteen support for the Hamilton County Local Emergency Planning Committee full-scale exercise that occurred on August 27, 2025. That's our annual hazmat exercise, just to make sure we're well prepared to respond to hazmat issue incidents within Hamilton County. A few days prior to the exercise, we made the determination that we should probably provide a light breakfast to the attendees. So we went ahead and purchased donuts at the cost of $124.50. And here today to respectfully request approval for the authorization of that meal.
I would move to approve. I can attest the donuts were there and I ate one.
Okay, I'm going to second it, except for the one that she ate.
Full
No, I
disclosure.
second it. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court Administration, Joe Atkin.
Hello, I just have a contract here for the juvenile TPR and CHINS cases. The gentleman who had the contract is going back to the prosecutor's office, and so Andrea Marsh is going to be taking over that contract for the remainder of the year.
Move to approve.
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is Chris Mertens.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I got two items. The first one, I think we signed at the last meeting. There was a problem with that agreement, though. We needed a new one signed. There was a mistake on it. This is
What, I'm sorry.
there was a mistake on that contract. We just needed to get an updated one. It's to upgrade the Comcast circuit over at the sheriff's office.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then the next one is a purchase agreement for a copier for the Parks Department. We had had an old one there that we were using until it died, and it died.
Move to approve.
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is that all you're wanting, Chris? You made it easy, didn't you? Okay, Hamilton County Emergency Operations Division, Brian Brethel.
Hello again, Commissioners. Got a couple of addendum contracts for you. They both are NASPO contracts. The first one is a Verizon NASPO addendum. This gives us, it's tied to a master agreement, which actually legal has a copy of the master agreement as well, in case you're curious. But legal has reviewed that as well as this agreement. This doesn't commit us to any specific actual purchase or cost. And actually, if we were to purchase anything off of this, we would actually be back in front of you with a separate contract to be signed. This just gives us the ability to get quotes and competitive quotes from Verizon for specific services.
So moved.
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And the second one is the same NASPO, it's just off of a different master agreement number, but this is through T-Mobile. Same conversation, this gives us the ability to get competitive quotes, and this is actually tied to the Connecting Heroes addendum that I brought in front of you on July 28th. This was actually the pairing agreement that we found out T-Mobile required prior to that.
So moved.
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is community, or commissioner, committee reports.
Other than the Washington trip we just returned from, not really. I think we had a successful visit with DC to talk about two of our priorities, the same being working with the Veterans Administration, with our veterans, and also with respect to obtaining customs clearance at IndiExcept.
Okay, I was there too, so that would be my report. Anything else?
Yep.
Next item is attorney.
Yes, I have two resolutions before you. I have three today, but two are going to be handled by Jeremy Olam from Barnes and Thornburg. The first one is resolution number 0922251, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Hamilton County authorizing the form and execution of a support agreement by and between Hamilton County, Indiana, and the Board of Trustees of Riverview Health. Jeremy, do you mind walking through the first resolution, the support agreement one?
Happy to. Thank you. Just made it on time. Jeremy Allen with Barnes and Thornburg. Good to see you again. This is an agreement that we've talked about for a little while in connection with the upcoming financing for the hospital, something we deemed a hospital support agreement, which says that in exchange for the support of the county in connection with the financing, the hospital agrees to do a few things for the county moving forward. The most important of which is that should there ever be a time with respect to the lease where the county had to make payment, the hospital will have a reimbursement obligation to the county. You might say that's cold comfort if we had to make payment and because they could not, but that reimbursement obligation will be secured by the revenues of the hospital. It will also be secured by some additional real estate of the hospital that's not part of the bond financing. It does give you, in fact, some security if there were a short-term problem, if they had an issue that again, they recovered from later, you would have that secured obligation of the hospital. Also mentions in the support agreement the funding of the debt service reserve fund, which is part of the transaction, has some restrictions on the hospital's ability to incur additional debt without coming to the county for so long as this deal is outstanding. You would not want a lot more debt incurred. Hospitals are capital intensive enterprises, so we want to preserve that ability, but it would require the consent of the commissioners. And then has some reporting requirements. I think we heard loud and clear that that's important, that they share more regular reporting with the county, certainly during the time frame that these bonds would be outstanding, so we've baked those in. And then, of course, kind of some just generic indemnification of the county should the hospital ever have anything related to the financing that would trigger that. That agreement, I think, is in near final form. I think there's probably some work to do yet on it, but we thought we'd bring it to the commissioners as we're kind of completing the process in connection with the financing. So I think this resolution authorizes that agreement and its execution with such, further changes, et cetera, as the commissioners might agree.
So moved.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The next one's resolution 0922252, resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Hamilton County, Indiana, approving the purchase of real estate from the Board of Trustees of Riverview Hospital and the form and execution of the lease by and between Hamilton County, Indiana as the lessor and the Board of Trustees of Riverview Hospital as the lessee following the purchase of such real estate. Jeremy?
Sure. So this relates to what we've kind of referred to as the excess real estate. It is partly in use by the hospital, both I think it's the Kalo property next to the hospital, former car dealership there, in that building, and then also the Noblesville Square shopping center, the old Noblesville Square shopping center. This will also be before the county council at their meeting on October 1st, given the appropriation needed to fund that purchase. But this is a resolution authorizing the purchase of that land by the county. The hospital does use portions of it and would like to continue to use portions of it, particularly for their rehab facility. It's housed in part of that Noblesville Square, and there's some reimbursement implications there if they were to relocate that, so we want to make sure they have the ability to continue to use that. There's a ton of excess space in that facility, as you all know, that I know the county has considered for other uses as well, so we'll make sure that's accommodated in any lease agreement. And then we obviously want to keep these leases kind of short on the lease back, because if there's an opportunity to redevelop those sites or do something else with them, we wouldn't want to be tied up long-term. So that's the intention. We had a call earlier today to talk about the real estate process and the leasing process, and we'll be working through that with The county's attorney, since we're a little conflicted there, we represent the hospital, so we won't be on both sides of that transaction. But this is just kind of a generic approval. These real estate purchases almost are between the county and the county, right? Given that the hospital is part of the county, so it's a little less formal than you might have if you were dealing with an unrelated third party. But we thought it important to bring back to you today, and then we'll be at the council October 1st.
No, but to clarify, that property is going to be invaluable to the county just for use during our work on this building. So we want to assure that even though they'll have a right to lease it, we review leases first.
Certainly,
Given
Connor and
the
his team as well.
Yep. And so that'll be a part of it, Commissioner, and the empty space right now, the hospital is aware that the county will make use of it pretty quickly.
Is the city aware of it too? Because I know on their farmer's market day, they park people over there and all that stuff.
I don't think we've gotten that far with them. We can talk with them, though.
Well,
There's a few
it'll
things
be
we had to talk
important.
with them about the property, so
I believe I think there ought to be a hold harmless insurance policy as their use of that for farmer's market. With change of ownership, I think that's going to be
we
critical.
can get that taken care of prior to the actual execution of the acquisition of the land.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'd move to approve.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Jeremy, thank you.
Appreciate
Commissioner, I have a couple more items. The next one is Resolution 09-22-253. Stephen Rushforth is here to walk you through this resolution.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. As Connor mentioned, I'm bringing forward Resolution 09-22-225-3. This resolution seeks to adopt two items, the first of which is an updated Title VI non-discrimination plan. This is required as part of a federal and state periodic review requirement. And the second item is going to be a Title VI non-discrimination policy that will incorporate this our non-discrimination plan into the GRC manual to allow us to monitor from a governance perspective. This document prior to today had been reviewed by our Title VI coordinator, the legal division, myself, and the county attorney. I'm here presenting in the absence of our Title VI coordinator. Ultimately, we believe these two documents combined will help the county remain compliant with the Title VI Civil Rights Act, strengthen accountability, and reaffirm the county's commitment to equal access and non-discrimination in all programs and services. Welcome any questions that you may have. Otherwise, we would just request your approval, and if approved, there is three areas that the documents will need signed.
Do you have any questions? Move to approve.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
The president will sign them too for you, so you'll see the sign here, upstairs. Commissioners, if you're okay, I'll move on to the next one.
Sure.
The next one is an indemnification and hold harmless agreement with Key Bank to resolve an issue of a duplicit check that was issued to a previous county employee. The matter is going to be resolved here shortly. The former employee is cooperating with us. This is just a hold harmless indemnification with Key Bank, who is holding the money right now at this point in time. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Andrew or I can address those for you.
I'd move to approve.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The last one I have on my agenda is requesting your permission to explore the Hamilton County Regional Utility District Phase 3 options that are available for us to start that process of whether it's procurement or whatever route we need to go. But at this point in time, I think it's too early to say how it'll work, but we would like to present those options to you at your next meeting, but either way, we'll have to have your authority to move forward with those. Any
Well, I
questions,
move-
comments, or concerns?
To approve the legal department moving forward with procurement opportunities with that, and also reviewing possible transactions with the redevelopment commission.
Absolutely.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
That is all I have on my agenda. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Director of Administration, Mr. Michael Hubbs.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Few items for you this afternoon. First one, introducing for your review, approval, and signature SRF disbursement request number 37 totaling $449,148.33 to Reynolds Construction LLC.
I would move to approve.
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 2, also introducing for your review, approval, and signature Hamilton County 911 Center Communications Project disbursement request number 11 totaling $2,172,003.58 to BW Construction LLC.
So moved.
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 3, introducing for your approval, VSL employee Robin Wilson works for us. As you know, she does a tremendous job in the office for the veterans. I'm requesting your permission for her to carry over 69.5 hours of PTO time for the next 6 months, so we can get that off the books. I would hate for her to lose that time. As you know, she works a lot of hours and covers for us. That's a 3-man department in there, so with your permission, I'll coordinate with her and Diana, make sure we get that burned off, but I don't want her to lose those hours.
Absolutely.
So moved.
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 4, we have a request from Plump Pictures LLC. We approved them a few months ago to conduct some filming in the old courthouse. They've come back to the office asking if they can have access to the lobby area of the assessor's office for similar documentary. I spoke with the assessor this morning. Assessor Poor has no issue with this. They will comply with our policies to include hiring an off-duty sheriff's deputy and will not interfere with operations. If you approve, they will do their filming on Saturday, September 27th, or Friday, October 3rd, or Saturday, October 4th, after hours.
So to clarify, it'll be only in the public area?
Yes. Yes, Diana and I worked with the company, and I clarified with the assessor. The assessor is clear we will prohibit them from accessing any other areas except the public area.
And they're not going to film while we are actively working?
Correct. It will be after hours, most likely on a weekend, but definitely after hours.
Okay. Move to approve.
Second, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. The last item I have for you, introducing for your discussion, is the development of a policy pertaining to the usage of the 4-H fairgrounds facilities for non-for-profit organizations. Specifically, if you would like me to move ahead to coordinate with legal on the usage of those facilities to include what that fee would be and so forth, I can bring it back to you.
That would be fine. And I'd also suggest, it's kind of a new, especially the bicentennial, that is a first-rate facility in line with Ritz Charles, it truly is a beautiful space. But I think we need to get some guidance in this development of rates we might charge for morning meetings, lunch meetings, and then evening meetings, because it's of a character and class that I think will have a lot of interest for weddings and over a long period of time. So I think we need to maximize that variation and that space.
Yeah, I don't know that it's as important that you work it out with legal as it is working it out with the 4-H council,
Yes, sir.
because they have
Yes.
they're the ones that set it all up, so.
Well, yeah, but I think they need some guidance because this is of a higher caliber
I'll
than
coordinate
they've
with
ever
both.
dealt with before.
Okay,
Thank you. Nothing further. Thank you.
thank you. Sheriff,
I don't have anything today. Thank you.
Mr. Auditor, the Honorable Auditor.
Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First item I'd like to present is the 2026 HUD agreement that required immediate execution outside of our regular meeting. After legal reviewed it, Commissioner Harebrant signed the agreement so that we could stay within the federal guidelines and keep the program on track. So I'm just requesting you please
Is that
ratify the agreement.
Ratify it.
Yeah.
but what exactly was it?
So it came earlier, and at your prior meeting, the agreement for next year's funding.
Very good. Move to ratify Commissioner Harebrant's signature.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, I have for approval in Commissioner Dillinger's signature is the Baker Tilly engagement letter relating to services we're going to render for us.
Move for discussion. They have provided the same agreement that they had to adjust last year, but we don't have the adjustment. They have in here on page 3, limitation on damages. And we discussed that last year. That negates our requirements for insurance and professional liability. And this needs to be adjusted because I don't want to work with any contractor, professional or not, that doesn't have coverage that's full for their errors and omissions.
Commissioners, we can have them amend that. I apologize. You can have it approved today, subject to that removal of that.
Well, I prefer to have it,
Yeah, once it's removed, we can have, if you authorize the president of the commission to sign it, once we get that back. Because I do believe there's a time-sensitive matter of trying to get this taken care of with, is this with the ERIP
Yes.
funds? So we'd like them to start sooner than later so that we can get our compliance reports for the Treasury done in a.
okay, and I want to make sure that our professional contractors, regardless of who they are, comply with our insurance requirements.
I believe they do at this point in time. That's part of the process our procurement director and our risk manager, risk director have worked on to make sure that that is part of our general terms and conditions and everything like that. As far as legal's aware, I believe they all do.
Okay, that's good. So I'd move subject to the removal limitations of damages.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Make that fast. I have treasurer's monthly report.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Health Trust monthly expenditures report for your approval.
So moved.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Payroll claims.
So moved.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And vendor claims.
So moved.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Oh, is that
Mr.
all?
Todd.
That's it. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay, we will recess for 5 minutes, and then we have a meeting in 1A. Any of you that'd like to attend, if you haven't had enough today, you're more than welcome to come back and join us.